Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Okay, so first one, Karta Purakh. The reason I separate these a little bit, because there's a separate sort of meaning of this part, which kind of adds to it, but really this one kind of one word, yeah? So, Karta, most people do this, yeah? They look at the Sikhi, the Max translations, right? And it says creative being, right? But Karta doesn't just mean creative, okay? That's just one part of the AUM, yeah? So he's the creator, he's a sustainer, and he's a destroyer. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji uses the word Karta Harta, and it comes in Bani as well that way. He's the creator and the destroyer. So he's a doer. The best kind of word that kind of encapsulates all this is a doer. He's the only thing that does anything. People think, well, where's my, what do I do? What do I do? Yeah, right. The choices that we have are much like the choice in the video game. We're restricted, aren't we? Can we fly? No. Can we do whatever we like? No. We're restricted by what he's given us. Yeah? So he is the Karta, he's the doer. And the desire to follow him also comes by his blessings. Those that are here listening, you've been blessed. So we have no jod. He has all the jod. Jis hat jod kar vekhe soy. Nanak uttam neech na koi. This bit is all about ego as well. If he's a doer, we don't need to have an ego, because he does everything. So we don't have to praise ourselves. But nowadays we start saying stuff like, I'm proud to be a Sikh. Oh, did you make Sikhi then? What are you proud of? Sikhi kita hode vaste? Most of us got given it on a plate. What were you proud of? We should be grateful, you know? So if he's a Karta, then we thank him all day long for what he's given us. Yeah? We don't become Akirtkana. Akirtkana means ungrateful person. So he does everything. He creates, he sustains, and he destroys. So we thank him for creating us. We thank him for sustaining us. Jista deta khavana, tiske ye sabash. Who's giving us the food? We thank him for it. And then when he destroys us, we don't cry about it. Yeah? Coming and going is by his hukum. Direct translation from Bani, yeah? Everything is by his hukum. That's hukum. So Karta is all about the doer. He is the one that is the hukum. Not only is the hukum mean he's the one in command, but also his manifestation, the sat, the manifestation of him, the eternal truth, is also hukum. Everything he does, everything's in his control. He can't help but be in control. He is the one in control. Yeah? It's not like, sorry, that's the wrong word. He can't help but be in control. He gives us the illusion of being in control. He gives us the ego. Yeah? But also, he's Karta Purakh. So he's the Karta. And the Purakh is the being. Yeah? So he's a being. He's not somebody who doesn't know. He's not like the Buddhists have this thing of like, no God. Right? There's no God in Buddhism. It throws people because it's got all the meditation, it's got all the peace, and it's got all the stuff about losing your desires. And it's got a lot of what you might call Sikhi in there, yeah? Nirvana, bliss. It's got all this stuff about the highest state. It's like equipoise. Yeah? It's got a lot of good stuff that we can relate to. One thing it's missing is the Purakh, the being that we're worshipping. Yeah? It doesn't have worshipper. And I went to McLeodganj, where Dalai Lama is living in exile, yeah, from China. And I met these two English monks, Buddhist monks. They were studying over there, they were studying Pali. And they had a problem with this part. Because they go, look, it's true, I experience it. It's true, right? But I can't worship it. Very strange for me. I find it very hard. And I was like, well, that's because they haven't got a God. Yeah? They're missing out on the Karta Purakh. They just got consciousness. But it's a being. It has the characteristics of a being. It loves us. Mata is the character of Pitta. It looks after us. Yeah, so we call it Tu Mera Pita, Tu Hai Mera Mata. So he has this, it's a being, and it has like a, we enjoy meeting this being, yeah? It's like our other bigger half. It's like our husband, Lord. So the other side of the being, so although it's a being, one more part is this, is that it's the male part. It's the male element. For all of us. Purakh in Punjabi means male. You know? And Bani says, Is jag mein Purakh ek hai, hor sagle nari. I think that's the right last part. I might have got a bit convoluted, but the point is jag mein Purakh ek hai. In this world, there is only one male. Everybody else is a woman. That's what it says. So that's why Bani says, husband, Lord. He's all of us husband. It's the ultimate equality, yeah? Maharaj is not saying women are equal to us. Maharaj is saying you're all women. There's a great book by Nikki Guninder Kaur about this. It's called a female principle of Sikh transcendental philosophy. It's a mouthful. But if you just type her name, you'll find it, Nikki Guninder Kaur. She's written a book about this, that Sikhi is unique because the philosophy and the theology is all feminine. That's what Maharaj is saying, come all my sisters, come all my friends, talk to me and tell me about how to meet my husband, Lord. Read that Shabad Azari. You know the English translation? You can go on YouTube and type it and it will play you the video. It talks about this clearly. Maharaj is saying we are all women to God. Yeah? And he wants to meet. So it's songs. It's the beloved. That's why he says the husband, Lord, will ravish you. Yeah? And we get shy of like, oh, it's wrong. You know, we start thinking. It's a love affair with God, yeah? It's a love affair. And when you experience it, you literally feel like you've been ravished. Yeah? It's like through and through you're buzzing, you're blissful, you're like, what happened there? Yeah? It's like that, he ravishes. Yeah? And that's why we say stuff like Anik Prakar Bhojan Bokiye, Bhob Binjan Mistai, Kari Pak Saswach Pavitra Lavo Pog Harai. We use that for Ardas nowadays, yeah? What he's saying is the woman has made all this food now. Oh, come and enjoy it. I've made myself nice for you. I've become a good person. I've lived your head. I've done all these things. Now come and enjoy me. Yeah? Ultimate love. So this is the male element, Karta Purakh. It's a doer. It kills our ego. Okay, now, if we get to the point where we start to realize that this one is doing everything, we shouldn't have this ego. We shouldn't have so much pride in what we do. We should accept the hukum, try to live in accordance with the hukum. Then the next thing is, how should we live, yeah? Right? So then Maharaj just say, look, Nir. Nir means the negative, opposite of. He doesn't have any. Nir means without. Like you heard the word Nirmal. Mal means mal, dirt. So Nirmal becomes pure, without dirt. So NirBho. It's not AU because that becomes like Bao almost. And that's Mami's love. So NirBho, without fear. Without. I'm sure some of this is like, I'm just writing stuff that you already know, yeah? Without fear. But we have to look at the implications of this. Because the next bit, NirBho and NirVair, this is actually our ethical system. The whole of Sikh ethics is based upon these two words, yeah? Na koi bairi, nahi bigana, sagala sang hamko ban ai. I got no enemy and I got no stranger. No one's a stranger to me, no one's an enemy to me. I'm with everybody. That's how Sikhs are, yeah? That's the 4 doors of Harmandir Sahib. Everybody's welcome. Hari Mandir, temple of God. Not Guru, you know, it's Gurdwara, but it's temple of God. Akaal Takht, the throne of God. Guru sits there. But Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, so Guru Arjan Dev Ji makes a temple with 4 doors. He says anybody's welcome. At that point, the Rababis, the Muslims, descendants of Pai Mardana, were doing Kirtan in the center of Harmandir Sahib. That was still the case till maybe about 100 years ago, maybe less than that, maybe 70 years ago, yeah? There used to be Muslims doing Kirtan. And you can see the descendants, they came recently, they got their CD, beautiful. He knows so much Bani of Baha. Singing, yeah? So, we have this, but then Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji goes and builds a mosque. In Sri Hargobindpur, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji made a mosque. For those Muslims in that area, they didn't have a mosque. Who does that? Like, have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of Buddha making something for other people? Because they weren't here to rule the world. When you're the world's ruler, you have to be a bit more enlightened. They've come with a physical mission, not just a spiritual mission. They've come to take us all from unenlightenment to enlightenment. So enlightened leadership means accepting the other and making a mosque when they need a mosque. Yeah? But then his son, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji's son, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the ninth Guru, he goes and gives Shahidi for the Hindus to practice their religion from those Muslims that were trying to convert them. These are amazing. No one's ever done that either. No leader of one religion, no prophet of one religion gave his life for another faith, to practice their faith. See, that's what is NirBho, NirVair. Without fear, without any enemy. Enemy literally, vary means your enemy. Yeah. So this can mean fear, is without fear and without any enemy. It does. Some people translate to mean hate. Yeah, and that can be part of it, because when you hate your enemy, it's kind of assumed. Yeah, it's built into it. But effectively, it's without sorry, I'm getting mixed up with mine. NirVair, NirBho, without fear and without any enmity. That's one of the old translations. Without any, so you can translate without fear, without hate, isn't God great? That's one of our t-shirts that we sell. So the point of this is that this is our ethical system as well. Once we lose our ego, we realize who's in charge, then this is how we should behave. Because God is like this. God is without fear and without any enemies. So when we understand that, we see somebody is doing wrong, we understand, okay, this person is doing wrong, we don't have to hate them. You don't have to hate the guy who's doing bad. But if you start getting hate and enmity, then it will extend everywhere. Yeah, it's like that fear is the path to the dark side. You know, it's like you go down that route, you don't know where you're going to end up. But also, have you ever seen that movie? I thought I'd bring up movies because I just like them. But have you seen the one that Mel Gibson made, based in the Amazon? Apocalypto. Yeah, Apocalypto. Yeah. Right. Have you seen that bit where the father says to the son, "Don't bring your fear into our village. I haven't taught you to live that way. I taught you to live without fear." Yeah. See, we used to be fearless. The Pant used to be actually fearless. They never feared anything. They didn't even fear death. Maharaj is saying in Bani, Maran kal ka tras nevariye. Let me not fear death. Because who's going to kill you? Who is going to die? Eternal soul, eternal God, who is a doer. Who's going to kill you? Yeah, him. He decides if you live or die. So why are we scared of it? It's because we don't have faith in that part, innit? That's all it is. We don't believe it to be true. We're scared. When we lose that fear, the fear goes when we understand Karta Purakh. Then we lose this fear as well. And we become NirBho because he is NirBho. And we become NirVair because he is NirVair. We have no one who we hate. When the riots came in London, and we're in Southall, everybody's en masse on the streets, stopping anybody. You wouldn't want to be a looter on that day in Southall. It would be like suicide. Yeah, and the police were like, we're not going to bother police this area. There's just too many people here with, walking on. But then when the Muslims came to do namaz time in the evening, they went inside their mosque, and who was standing outside the mosques? The Singhs. Yeah? The Sikhs were guarding the mosque while they were doing the namaz. Yeah? We haven't got any varies. Nowadays we start thinking in vary, but actually we have no vary. Yeah? We're very easy to forgive as well, because we've got no enmity with anybody. So without fear, without hate. Waheguru is this way, doesn't hate anybody. There's no special people to Waheguru. Yeah, this is one other part of this as well. There's no special people, and Waheguru controls the whole lot anyway. So he hasn't got to be. He's controlling, making them do bad. And when people say, "Oh, why should they be bad then?" Right? You see, before you have light, you must have darkness. Because once the light is there, there is no more darkness. So we start with a little bit of darkness, then the light will come. It's part of the cycle. Okay? We're here to bring the light. It's like a game, yeah? We're the goodies, they're the baddies. No one's got to hate the baddies. It's just their role is to be the baddie. Our role is to be the goodie. That's it. Guru Gobind Singh's come with that role. It's even simplified for kids. Don't say, don't hate the baddie. That's his job. Ki kar sakta hai bechara. Innit? But you can't, even if you kill his physical body, you haven't killed his soul. He'll get a chance again. Nothing to be scared of there. NirBho, NirVair. Without fear, without enmity. Akaal Moorat. Okay. So in the rules of grammar in Punjabi, you kind of might know this already. If you put in front of something, so a lot of words, not every word, but if you put in front, it negates it, becomes the opposite. Yeah. So Akaal. So to understand Akaal, or like Amrit, this word Amrit, we say Amrit nowadays. Amrit, in fact, we don't even say Amrit, we say Amrit. Yeah. It's like a one bastardization of that word. Sorry, but effectively, what Amrit is Mrit. Mrit means death. Mrit Jeev is somebody who's a dead body. Yeah? Amrit becomes immortality. Right? Can never die. Amrit. So this is Akaal. Kaal is time. Time or death. It's related because if you say Minu Kaliya, I'm in a hurry. I got short time. Yeah? That's Kaal, that means time. But if somebody's died, then they say Kaal as well. The reason that they're related is because anything that is in time has to die. Right? You have to be outside of time to not be in time. And remember that Aad is such, Jugad is such. Well, Sikhi is saying that time is a dimension. Because Aad is before Jugad. Jugad is when time began. And the Big Bang is when time began. So what was true before that? Ik. It was Aad as such. Before time, one was true. Then time began. And the one was still true. Yeah? And now one is still true. And forever one would always be true. That's the Akaal. So he is outside of that time. So he's immortal, one translation, immortal, and he is outside of time. So he's not inside our time. That's why it says in Bani, Sahib Mera Neet Nawa, Sada Sada Da Da. He doesn't get old. Been around 14.3 billion years, the world, but God never got old, didn't age a day. He's not in time. Yeah? It's not like we think, Sikhis for Buddha nowadays, yeah? Right? For old people, Sikhis become for old people now, isn't it? When you get to a certain age, you should start sorting yourself out and start looking towards. Well, I'll give you a good example. I was talking to my wife today and I said to her, you know, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's elder son, Sardar Ajit Singh, they were born in Paonta Sahib, I heard. Maharaj was only there from when they were 16 to 19. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji was married and had a son when he was 19. And already written Job Sahib and Akaal Usted. And they were leading in battles. They'd fought their first battle when they were at Paonta Sahib as well. So at 19, that's what was normal. And the Pai Sahib I learned from, he was saying that when the kids get to 15, they're no longer your children, you should treat them as adults. 15. In the old days, you got given responsibility a lot earlier. Now we've emasculated our youth, yeah? We expect them to, at 9, 18, behave like kids, go to university, behave like children at university, yeah? Freedom, woo! Yeah? Like parents are at home controlling you, now get to uni, that's it, go nuts, right? And then get a bit older, finally get a job, 25, 26, settle down, and when they're 26, they're saying, oh, I'm still too young for kids. 28, no, I can't take on responsibility. But these people that came from India, our elder generation, they came here when they were 19, 20, and they were running Gurdwara. They were doing everything when they were 19, 20, 30. They were running businesses. They were doing all that. Kartar Singh Sarabha went back to India when he was 18. At 16, he was running newspapers. He ran a newspaper. So, you know, over the years, it's not just us, yeah? Over the years, we've been growing older a lot later. But responsibility, well, we are ready for responsibility. We're just not making actionaries of our children. They don't have to deal with the world. So by the time they get to this age, right, 33, they don't know how to deal with the world. They don't know how to solve any problems. They've become conditioned to following the system. Maybe that's why they made it this way. Maybe that's why education takes so long. They want to condition you for longer. They don't want you to start solving problems. If you start solving problems, you might see them as a problem. You might start solving them. No one wants that, especially not them, right? So the system is made this way as well. But there's a quote I'll give you about Sikhi. Yeah? Sikhs used to be either one of two things, as Bani says. It's a quote from traditional. Bagi or parchaar. You're either a rebel or you're the ruler. Because both are free. They're free to make decisions. Everybody else is under command. That's what the Sikhs used to be, Bagi or parchaar. Now, Sikhis for weekends, yeah? Right? Isn't it? Or evenings. 9 to 5, evenings, weekends, summer holidays, camp. That's Sikhi for us nowadays. I was talking to a Bhai Sahib earlier. He was saying to me that in the old days, he saw an account, a white person was writing an account of the Amrit Sanchar. He said the Panj Pyare, they made Amrit, and then everybody who took Amrit had to spend 2 weeks there, learn Gurumukhi, learn their part, right, and have it all, and how to pronounce it, understand the philosophy, everything in 2 weeks. Because who knows where they were from, innit? They could have been from anywhere. Right? They could have been from any old background. They're taking Amrit now. The Panj Pyare took on their responsibility as the people who made them into Sikhi. They're like the fathers of these people, yeah? They're the fathers, the Panj Pyare. That's the Guru Pita. They taught their children for 2 weeks solid. Intensive course, then they're ready to go out. And you know the old days, they used to have people outside the Amrit Sanchar with spears, guarding the Amrit Sanchar and checking whoever comes in. They even say that nowadays. It doesn't happen anymore, let's face it, yeah? But in the old days, they used to ask you questions. Why are you taking Amrit? What's your reason for taking Amrit? And you had to answer that stuff. And if you weren't good enough, they say it's not for you, come back next year. Come back next 6 months' time, we'll see you again. We'll see if you really want this. We'll see if you're worthy of it. Now what's happening? They valued it, yeah? When you value something, you don't give it willy-nilly to everybody. What do we do with it? We don't value it. Sasta, yeah? Sasta, going cheap, come and get it. If you're broken, it doesn't matter, come on in again. There's a degradation of the quality, isn't it? Sab kuch is starting from here. So, to follow him, we have to think like him. Think long term and be not afraid of death. Akaal. That's his form. Moorat means form. His form is Akaal. He has no such form that we can understand. Jab Sahib will tell you, na roop hai, na rang hai, na rekh hai, na pek hai. What will you do? Wada koi form nahi. He is Nirankar. You have to go inside to find him. You're not going to find him out there. But you can see Sargun Roop of him as Guru. Guru is a physical form of him. So he has 3 forms. In Sikhi, we have 3 forms of the Guru, or 3 forms of God. Sargun, with qualities. Nirgun, without any qualities. And Nirankar, totally aloof from the whole thing. Yeah? The Shabad is one form of him. It has no qualities, yet it can manifest. The Sikh, or the Guru, is a form of him. Because he can become like that drop that is purified. Yeah? Shine with his light. And finally he remains aloof from it all as well. Okay? So, that's his form. This is also a criticism of Hinduism, isn't it? Because every murti, because this word Moorat in Punjabi is written as, but in Gurmukhi is written Murti. It's Murti. But you don't pronounce the Sehari too much. Yeah? But his Murti is not of anything that we can understand. So therefore, all the idols are just useless. It was actually Be-Adabi. Adab means respect. Be-Adabi means without respect. To make an idol of God is disrespectful. What? And Barney talks about this. Because you worship it now, wash it with milk. What were you doing then when the sculpture was standing with his feet on his head? No one went to say, "Oi, that's rude." Now if somebody tried to put their feet on their head, you say that's bad. Before you didn't care. Be-Adabi, to make a murti of God. Right? Akaal Moorat, and then Ajooni. This is the last one. Ajooni Saibhung. I'll put them together because they're related. They're kind of 2 sides of the same coin. Ajooni, right? 8.4 million life cycles. That's the June. Juni. This is the Juni. Juni means the life cycle, yeah? That we've been in. We've been in 8.4 million life cycles. And now we've got the ideal chance to break out as a human being. So the Buddha says, if it's harder to get a human life than it is to drop a needle from heavens and have it land on a needle on the earth. It's how lucky we are to get this human life. Some random people out there, right? They don't like this concept of reincarnation. So you know what they say? They say, oh well, if you've got loads of lives, you just do it your next life. It makes you devalue this one life. That's nuts. If you understood reincarnation and you realize you have to go through trees, you have to go through a rock, you have to go through lizards and ants and all this stuff, you'd really value the human life. Big time. 8.4 million lives, and now we've got the chance. Remember we talked about last time, PUBG, yeah? PUBG. In PUBG, you can't miss a go. You have to play. Huh? This is your turn, and you've got to play. If you miss, you can't miss. You either go upwards or you go back down. Pay or play. You got to play the game, or you pay the price. Do you get it? You can't get away with it, kid. No one can buck you. You have to play the game. The system is made that way. Yeah. Better to tell them at this age than tell them when they're older. I don't know about this. Yeah. So this is the game. He is Ajooni. Waheguru is not inside the life cycle, but everything else is inside life cycle. Like it says in Bani, Kita pasao eko kawao tiste hoye lakh dariyao. Dariyao means rivers, yeah? But it can also mean life cycles. Lakh dariyao. 84 lakh. Yeah? 8.4 million. So he made this world this way. That's why I said that it can mean both things, us and the creation. Because the dariyao can mean water, which came from air, and it can mean creation, and it can mean us. We came from the one, we're into life cycles. So he made the system this way. We're in the system. Hamster in the wheel, we can't get out. We're going to have to do this. Naam. Because it tells you next how to get out, yeah? Ajooni. And now you might think, okay, if he's not in the life cycles, did anybody make him? Yeah? It says Saibhung. Now the word Sa means by themselves. And this Bung is like illumination sort of thing. Prakash, light. So they are shining with their own light. They shine with their own light. No one else is light. There's no hydrogen burning behind them to give them light. Everything in this world has something which gives it light. Yeah? The light bulb gives light because current is going through the filament and is giving light. So the current and the filament combine to make light. Nothing makes them light, give light. They are totally independent. Behemotaj. Behemotaj means independent. Beparwa. They are without any worries. Why? Because they're the one in charge, isn't it? What are they worried about? No one. They got no one to fear because no one's as big as them. They got no one to hate because they control everything. So they're self-illumined. So no one made them, they made themselves. The one made itself. It says in Bani as well, yeah? It says, like, Apine aap sajyo, Apine rachyo now. You made yourself and you made the name. The manifestation, the system to connect to them, they made it. And then, Dui kudra sajiye. Then you made the world. Kar asan dittocha. And you're sitting in it and watching it and enjoying everything. So Waheguru is enjoying this world. Ajooni, he's outside life cycles, but we are in life cycles. He is giving power to himself, but we are not giving power to ourselves. We are living off him. We are powered by him. This all relates to us as well at a personal level, yeah? So these are the 5. You can say these names. The reason it's called the 5 names, yeah, because Bhai Gurdasi tells you that there's 5 names in Mool Mantar. We can say these. You can do Karta Purakh, Karta Purakh, Karta Purakh. Yeah. So first, like, let's go through now Mool Mantar now, the Maha Mantar, Mool Mantar. It's now saying the one with the sound made everything. This is the truth. This truth is realized by connecting to the truth. It's possible, it's real to connect to the truth. This way is true. Then it's saying that this one is the doer. It does everything. And he's the husband Lord. And it's saying this one is without fear. You should have no fear. You should have no ego. Live in acceptance. You should have no enemies. There's no need to fear anything. There's no need to be enemy of anybody. Because it's all in his control. Right? Be compassionate. If you've got no enemies, you give compassion to everybody. You have no one that you're higher to, no one that's lower to you. Be compassionate. Yeah? Then, he is outside of time. So think yourself as timeless. Don't behave as if you're limited by time. Behave in a way that's immortal. And that's why the Singh used to call themselves Akalis. That's where the word Akali comes from. Akaal Takht. They behaved as Akalis. They weren't fear of death. They had no fear. They thought they were going to live forever. Because the body will die, but the soul will not. Then, he has no form that we can understand. He's outside of time. And finally, he's outside life cycles. Don't think he's ever born, don't think he ever dies. Like the Jesus system. We don't believe in that. Yeah? But he is, we are in the life cycle. He is self-illumined, no one makes him. He is totally independent from us. We can never understand this word, how it means, how he's self-illumined. But we are not illumined by ourselves, he made us. And how do I connect to this one then? That we said the connection, all of this is made possible by the Guru's grace. Guru has come to teach you this. Guru can bless you. If you follow his system, he will enlighten you. The enlightenment comes with a system. Yeah? Sikhi's got a science. Watch the videos, there's a whole analogy of Sikhi. There's two videos, the fitness analogy of Sikhi and the mobile phone analogy of Sikhi. We talked a little bit about the mobile phone version, yeah? The phone doesn't work unless you charge it, give it some reception, you give it a contract, you get service provider. Yeah? It doesn't work. You don't blame the phone, do you? You don't. Tanu pata hai, koi fayda nahi to blame the phone. The system is made that way. So you think, oh well, I'll have to go and get a SIM. I'll have to go and get a contract or put some credit in there. I'll have to go and get some reception. I'll have to charge the phone as well. I'll have to turn it on. I'll have to dial. You'll have to get some sasangat, get some reception. You'll have to go and do some part to get your batteries up. Yeah? To get some charge yourself up. You'll have to go and do some seva to get your credit up. Or you'll have to take a contract out, take Amrit. Yeah? You have to go through somebody, service provider. You have to go get a guru. Right? And finally, you're going to have to dial and call Waheguru. Bolo Waheguru. That's what they're saying. So Satnam Waheguru is a truth, is realized through the name of the truth. What is that name? Waheguru. That's what they chant. Satnam Waheguru. Satnam Waheguru. This is the name that we've been given. Chant this name. Waheguru Gur Mantar hai. Jap home koi. We go back to this, yeah? Waheguru Gur Mantar hai. Waheguru is the Guru's mantra, the one he's given you. Jap. The first hukam of Guru Bani is Jap. Yeah? Ek Onkar Satnam Karta Purakh NirBho NirVair Akaal Moorat Ajooni Saibhung Gur Prasad Jap. First hukam. When Guru became Guru, the first thing he said is Japo. Basically, Jap. Right? And Jap, so got lost now. Okay. Waheguru Gur Mantar hai Jap home koi. What's the benefit? Home. Home is this ego. The word hom means I. Hom vari, hom varne. Yeah? Hom. Hom aya duro chal ke. I come from a long way away. Main is me as well, isn't it? Main. So I, me. Home means I, me. I, me is ego. Sense of oneness. Sense of separateness from the one. Me here. Us. We. So, ego is the opposite of Nam. Ego keeps you away from the Sat. Guru takes away your ego. You give yourself to him. Guru gives you Nam. So Guru takes you back to Sat. It's all realized by the Guru's grace. Ik Oankar Sat Gur Prasad. That's why this Manglacharan is used again and again in Bani. And the Sat is given next, the Naam of the Sat, and the explanation of the Sat is being given in that Mool Mantar. So this is what Guru Nanak Ji came with. When he went to Sachkhand, he got given the Guruship, he came back with this for us. This was his like, look, I got you this gift. This is the truth. Here it is. This is how we're going to get to him. Yeah? That's why people followed him. That's why they prepared to die for him. Because he actually had the power to do this. And people experienced it. A Sikhi, the why of Sikhi is this. Guru can get you to experience God. Yeah? Guru can enlighten you. Enlighten. Guru can enlighten you. That's why we follow him. It's experiential based. The cart before the horse, yeah? The cart before the horse is the what and the how. The horse is, I've now experienced God. The way Guru told me worked. Now I've experienced God. What do I do to recreate this experience? Oh, he's giving me a science. I better get on with it. Because I really value this. And didn't people value Sikhi? Didn't they value it? They're prepared to have their little kids chopped into pieces and put around their neck than to convert. Because when you found the truth, can you find another? There's only one. You found the truth, that's it. You couldn't go away, you can't turn your back to the truth. When you realize immortality is on the other side of that door, you don't turn away from it. Because everything else becomes not so important. Then you can understand why the Sikhs were prepared to take Amrit, prepared to follow the case and all this stuff, because it didn't matter to them. They'd found the truth. They woke up in the morning and they felt the joy of experiencing God. They went to sleep at night in that joy. They lived in Anand. This is the basics of Sikhi. Mool Mantar, isn't it? Appa eh nahi gal kar rahe hege. So all day long, why are you doing this? The Shaheed's done this, why are you doing that? Or Tandi Kala hegi. It's not really working either, is it? You can see, I'd say, if we're in a graph right now, if we're down here, like in the minus bits, yeah, in terms of our knowledge of Sikhi, of our Gurbani, we're going to keep on going down. This is where we are now. We're going to keep on going down. To even get back here, to recorrect this graph, it's going to take about 10-15 years of hard work and about 20 full-time parchariks just in the UK, at least to recorrect this downward spiral. It's going to keep on getting worse. Yeah. So you can see like why basically base of Sikhi and all this stuff has to happen. Otherwise, just keep on thinking. In 200 years, people won't even know. Like they won't even go to Gurdwara. Half these Gurdwara will have to end up getting empty because no one will go to them. They bought buildings upon buildings, building funds, no fundamentals building. And you can see now some of the Gurdwara are actually empty. They've made them, but they're actually empty. Yeah. Then they will start saying sell them. Let's move somewhere else. Let's consolidate. That's what's happening, isn't it? You might think, oh, the decline might happen one day. We're in the decline. We're already down here. To get back here, take a lot of hard work. Alright guys, so the next talk, we'll finish off there in a minute, yeah? The next talk will go through that first body, Alsa Jugaad Sach, and then after that it comes up to Hukam Rajai Chalna, Nanak Likhya Naam, yeah? Because that's a big answer to us. So we'll go through that. And I think it's an extension of the next one, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll do it there. So I'm sure I made loads of mistakes. My apologies. We can have questions after this, but just for the sake of the camera. But it's okay, maaf karna ji. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru.